young explorers. It's me, Professor Punzworth, your pun-loving pal, bow-tie-wearing whirlwind of wisdom. And today, I'm getting blown away by one of nature's wildest wonders. Hold on to your hats, because today we're diving into the twisty, turny, totally terrific topic of tornadoes. Now, before we go flying into facts, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen something so strong it could move a house? Not a superhero. Not your uncle trying to push a couch through a doorway, but a swirling, roaring, spinning tower of air? Let's start at the beginning. What exactly is a tornado? Well, have you ever spun a top? Or watched water swirl down a drain? A tornado is like that. But instead of swirling water or a toy, we're talking about a giant, rotating column of air. And not just any air. This air is moving faster than a roller coaster with a rocket booster. In fact, tornado winds can reach over 300 miles per hour. That's faster than a cheetah on a skateboard chasing a pizza truck. Tornadoes usually form during powerful storms called supercells. Now, I know what you're thinking. Supercell, is that like a phone plan for superheroes? Not quite, although I do imagine a superhero team made of storm clouds. Captain Cloud, Lady Lightning, the Thunder Twins, but back to real science. Tornadoes form when warm, moist air from the ground rises rapidly and meets cool, dry air from above. The two different air masses start a big ol' argument in the sky, and boom, rotation begins. This spinning often starts horizontally, but strong updrafts, rising air, can tilt it vertically. And once that funnel cloud stretches all the way to the ground, congratulations! You've got yourself a tornado. Here's the twist. Tornadoes aren't just all wind and no purpose. They help move energy through our atmosphere. Mother Nature's way of saying, let's redistribute the air conditioning. Some tornadoes are thin and rope-like. Others look like giant wedges touching the earth. They can last just a few seconds or spin for over an hour. Most tornadoes are less than a mile wide, but the widest one ever recorded was over 2.6 miles across. That's not a tornado. That's a spinning stadium. Tornadoes are powerful, unpredictable, and full of surprises. Some drop from calm-looking skies. Others race across plains with booming thunder in tow. But no matter the size, shape, or sound, they all remind us just how amazing our planet's atmosphere really is. Coming up next, we'll take a gusty journey into the past and look at some of the most famous tornadoes in history. Let's time travel through the twistiest chapters of tornado history. Some tornadoes are famous not just for their power, but for the stories they left behind. Let's start with a storm so strong it spun into the record books. It's the year 1925, and we're in the heartland of America. The skies go dark, the winds begin to howl, and then it arrives, the tri-state tornado. Yes, this tornado roared across 3 states, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It traveled over 200 miles, on the ground, and lasted more than 3 hours. That's like a tornado running a marathon with no bathroom breaks. It destroyed entire towns, took hundreds of lives, and changed how we study storms. At the time, it was the deadliest tornado in U.S. history. Fast forward to 2013. In Moore, Oklahoma, another monster touched down. This one was over a mile wide, with winds topping 200 miles per hour. It tore through neighborhoods, schools, and homes, causing more than $2 billion in damage. So how do we even begin to measure something this powerful? Is there a giant tornado ruler? A measuring tape attached to a cow? Not quite. Scientists use the enhanced Fujita scale. It's named after Dr. Tetsuya Fujita, a brilliant scientist who studied storm damage in great detail. We call it the EF scale for short. It ranks tornadoes based on the damage they cause, not just the wind speed, but how much stuff they toss around. Let's break it down together. EF0, light damage, maybe a few broken branches. Your garden hose survives. EF1, moderate damage. Roof shingles fly off. fences tumble, lawn gnomes relocated, EF2, considerable damage, trees uprooted, cars jostled, Punzworth's bow tie flaps dramatically, EF3, severe damage, entire roofs torn off, trains tipped over, goats start texting their goodbyes. EF4, devastating damage, homes flattened, trucks tossed, flying cows very possible. And finally, EF5, incredible damage, complete destruction. Nothing left but grass, dirt, and shocked squirrels. These EF5 tornadoes are rare, but when they strike, everything changes. The US experiences more tornadoes than any other country in the world. Each year we get over 1,000 reported twisters. But don't panic. Most are small, short-lived, and not destructive. Still, it's important to respect the science and know the signs. Up next, let's twirl into Tornado Alley and find out why tornadoes love that place so much. And I'll tell you which US state has a record for the most tornadoes in a single day. Here's a hint. It wasn't my backyard, but it sure felt like it after my science experiment with a vacuum cleaner and 47 balloons. Let's talk geography, tornado style. If tornadoes had a favorite vacation spot, they'd be booking first-class tickets to a place called Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley isn't marked on any treasure map, but it's legendary among storm scientists and weather chasers. It stretches through the central part of the United States, from northern Texas through Oklahoma and Kansas, and up into Nebraska. Why there? Because it's where warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico collides with cool, dry air from the Rockies. Think of it as nature's battleground, with clouds for shields and lightning for swords. These dramatic air clashes create the perfect recipe for powerful storms, and sometimes those storms start to spin. But tornadoes don't just visit Tornado Alley. They've been spotted in all 50 states, even Hawaii. Yes, you heard that right. Tornadoes can spin in paradise. Florida has its own twisty region too. They call it Dixie Alley. And one of the most tornado-prone cities in the world, Oklahoma City. It's had more direct hits than a piñata at a birthday party. But don't worry, if you know what to do, you can stay safe. Let's go over some quick tornado safety tips. First, if you hear a tornado siren, weather alert, or see a funnel cloud, don't wait. Take cover immediately. Head to the lowest level of your home. A basement is best. No basement? Go to a small windowless room in the center of your house, like a bathroom or closet. Cover your head and neck with your arms or a sturdy object like a mattress. And please, stay away from windows. Flying glass and garden gnomes do not make good roommates. If you're outside and can't get indoors, find a low ditch or depression in the ground, lie flat, and protect your head. And no matter what anyone says, do not take shelter under an overpass. Despite what old action movies might show, wind tunnels form there, and they actually make things worse. Now, let's take a swirl through some of the weirdest tornado facts on record. Fact 1. Tornadoes can make it rain. Frogs. Yep. Sometimes tornadoes form over lakes, rivers, or ponds, and they pick up water along with the fish, frogs, or other small critters inside. Later, when the winds calm down, it literally rains animals. It's a weird day when you need a raincoat and a frog net. Fact 2. There are different kinds of tornadoes. There are landspouts, which look like skinny dust devils, and waterspouts, which are tornadoes that form over water. Waterspouts can sometimes move onto land and become actual tornadoes. Fact 3. Tornadoes don't just happen on Earth. There are megastorms on other planets too. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a giant storm that's been spinning for over 300 years. Now, that's what I call a long-term forecast. All these fun facts spin up just one message. The more we learn about tornadoes, the more we understand the world around us. Coming up next, we'll do a quick recap, build your survival checklist, and quiz your brain with a whirlwind of questions. Alrighty, Wind Wizards, let's give our brains a little break and review everything we just learned with a spin-tacular recap. First, we learned that tornadoes are rotating columns of air. spinning from the sky down to the ground like Mother Nature's blender without a lid. They form inside powerful thunderstorms called supercells, where warm and cold air meet and get into a serious sky scuffle. We visited the tri-state tornado of 1925 and the mighty Moore, Oklahoma tornado. We met the EF scale, from light breezes that ruffle your hat to monster storms that could launch your lunchbox to the moon. We took a tour of Tornado Alley, learned how to stay safe, and discovered some truly strange facts, like frog rain, waterspouts, and tornadoes in space. Now, before we say goodbye, it's time for your official tornado survival checklist. Take notes, future meteorologists. These tips could save your tail feathers. Number 1, take warnings seriously. Sirens, alerts, or funnel clouds mean it's time to move. Number 2, get low and inside. Basements, storm shelters, or interior rooms with no windows are your best bet. Number 3, protect your head, use your arms, a pillow, or a mattress. Bonus points if your mattress isn't still covered in breakfast crumbs. Number 4, stay away from windows. Flying glass and airborne toys are not part of the fun. Number 5, never shelter under an overpass. They're wind traps, not wind shields. And number 6, have an emergency plan. Know where to go, who to call, and how to stay calm. All right, Weather Warriors, now it's time for our Tornado Quick Quiz. Let's see how much knowledge you've blown through today. Question 1. What scale is used to measure tornado damage? Answer: the enhanced Fujita scale. Question 2. What's the most powerful level on the EF scale? Answer: EF5, incredible damage. Question 3. Which U.S. region is nicknamed Tornado Alley? Answer: the central part of the country. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. Question 4. What should you do if you're outside during a tornado and can't get to a building? Answer: lie flat in a ditch or low spot, cover your head, and stay away from trees and cars. Question 5. My personal favorite, true or false? It has rained frogs because of a tornado. Answer: true. Bonus question. What planet has the longest lasting storm in our solar system? Answer: Jupiter. Its great red spot has been spinning for over 300 years. Well done, tornado trainees. You've stormed through science, survived safety tips, and spun into some seriously strange weather wonders. And now, as the winds calm and the skies clear, let's wrap up with one final thought. Tornadoes may be wild, unpredictable, and a little scary, but understanding them helps us stay safe, stay smart, and stay curious. Until next time, I'm Professor Punzworth, bowtie survivor of the skies, reminding you that no matter how stormy it gets, learning is always worth the whirlwind.